whether it is fornication, it's adultery, it's lying, it's stealing, it's murder, whatever the nature of sin. In love, we should correct people and continuously admonish them.
And even talking about abuse, even some pastors abuse their wives.
I think it is high time we begin to teach them that it isn't just about this woman is beautiful, this man is fine, so that you can point to people, this is my husband.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to be in marriage.
Oral sex has a lot of implications, and one of it is the fact that it is one of the easiest way for the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases.
Trying to get something from somewhere you don't like, you will chop their money, and that money you eat fufu with it can block your womb. There is a woman who is praying, but most of these young girls don't know that they are lying.
You see, so most married men go out there and lie to innocent girls.
That who told you are innocent? These hypocritic girls.
Some of the girls are innocent. Because I know some girls who will tell you that if you are married, forget.
It is yet another beautiful weekend with us here on GTV Live. Now, the show is Weekend Review with me, Johnny Cole, Dollarich. Thank you so much for being part of the show every weekend. We have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review Dollarich. Just get connected to us. Let's do the show together. Call somebody also to call somebody to tune in. Tomorrow, that is 7th of August, we are meeting at Miracle Temple Assemblies of God, bringing you Redeeming the Family Glory. This is a program, the kind of testimonies we are having. Oh my dear, just excuse your church just for tomorrow and be part of this program. We are bringing the beauty of the family back on track. We do believe in God's glory, God's grace for the family, and therefore just join us even as we hold this program together. We will take this quick break. When we come, we are discussing a topic that will interest you. In fact, it will be so beneficial to the whole family. We'll be right back.
Tell me, what can I do?
This is the moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in Redeeming the Family Glory.
Under an atmosphere of worship and prayer, GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and restore the family glory. The venue is
Miracle Temple Assemblies of God at Chimota near the collapsed Milcom building with Reverend Jonas Yawotete. The date is Sunday, 7th August 2016. Time 8 a.m. sharp. The theme, Keep the Family Alive. Esther chapter 4 verse 16.
Precious one. Evangelist John Lee Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
Now I decree and I declare that your family will stand, your marriage will stand, your business will stand, your relationship will stand. You will never fail in the name of Jesus.
I can't make it on my own.
You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us, and the program is the Weekend Review right on GTV Live. Now, we want to do a quick one. I have these friends, I can call them, yes, friends. They've been so supportive on this show, and they will tell us who they are. If you're a first viewer, we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollar. Just get connected to us, even as my guests introduce themselves for us. Mama Faith, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, viewers would like to know you week after week, so tell us who you are and where you're coming from.
I'm Faith Ewa, Mrs. I work with GBC, HR, and I serve at Royal House Chapel as a deacon.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the show. I think we've missed you for a couple of weeks now. Thank you so much. I can see, and you're looking sharp too.
Thank you.
Wow. And my very own friend here, Prof. Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
My viewers would like to know more of you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I'm Prophet Robert Tiokai, General Overseer of Holy Ghost Triumphant Church. We are located on the West Hill, Kaswa Road, New Potiano Junction, behind the Golf Station.
Triumphant Church. Today we will triumph.
Amen.
Pastor, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Viewers, we have our WhatsApp line, as I said, on screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected to us. We are discussing handling parental love for siblings. Don't get confused. There are homes that sometimes you see this discrimination between siblings. I mean, that is parents siding with one child as against the other for certain reasons, but we want to see how best to handle this. I mean, some children quail in, they kind of shun or they stay back from the family. They don't want to be part of the family because in one way or the other, they kind of have this feel that either mommy doesn't love them that much or daddy is against them. But we see how best to live in harmony as a family, and I have these beautiful people to help us do this. Let me go straight to Mama Faith. And Mama Faith, thank you for being on the set today too. Now, handling parental love for siblings, we know, I mean, it's something that we encounter here and there. What can you say for a start?
To start with, the Bible says children are a gift from God to us. So God entrusts them into our hands to take care of them, to nurture them, to protect them, and mold them into the being God wants them to be. So they give us children, and every child comes with his own character, with his own being, and with his own likes and dislikes. And as parents, we will have to train them the way God wants them to be. In doing that, how do we relate to them? Because there are some children, naturally, they are very good.
That's right.
They are obedient, they are lovely, they are bubbling with life. So naturally, you tend to love those ones. But the others too who are also demanding attention, they are very stubborn, they are hard. How do we relate to all these? Because you don't have a choice in the children God give you. So you could have about 4 children. There are some who are very robust, there are some who are quiet, there are some. And it talks about temperament.
That's right.
How do you relate to these people well? So that Kofi will not say, Mommy loves Amma more than me. Because here you have Amma who is always sick. So what do? You need to attend to Amma more. By in doing that, you must let Kofi know that I am not doing that because I love Amma more. It's because Amma is not as strong as you are. So as parents, we have a lot of work to do. How do we show love to all these people with their needs? Because some have more needs than the others. And as children, they observe, they watch everything we do.
That's right.
You come home and you are giving gifts. Do you say this one is the little one? So you give that child more and the adult. How do you train them to really appreciate that I am giving Amma, who is younger, more than you because you are grown? So that is where the challenge comes. And if we don't do it right, the children pick it right from childhood. Mommy loves Amma more than me. Anytime she's coming, she gives her more biscuits than I do. So the child is observing. Amma is younger. I say, I can, if Kofi is older, so Kofi, you have enough shirt, I won't buy you shirt. Amma is the girl. So every time you are bringing gifts, and the gifts are going to Amma. So from age 4, he's watching, and he's packing everything in his mind. Mommy loves Amma more than me. Oh, Amma dresses up. You are looking good. But you don't tell Kofi you're also looking good. So Kofi has started as young as he is. Mommy loves Amma more than me. And it is there in the head. In the head. You want to encourage, maybe Kofi naturally is good at school.
That's right.
So Kofi will do his work well and will excel. So if Kofi is okay, so I don't need to encourage Kofi. Amma is very dull, so I need to encourage Amma. Oh, so Amma didn't do very well at Kofi, but because you want to encourage Amma, you are giving her words of encouragement. Kofi, what is it that me, everything I do, Mommy doesn't appreciate? I do well, Daddy doesn't care. I do well, Mommy doesn't care. So it is very, very difficult. But as parents, we need to know it so that we don't plant those hatred in our children as they grow.
I'll come back to you. Prof, parents, I know it's quite difficult being a parent. I mean, like my faith is saying, you have to balance yourself. I mean, soften here small, hardening here small, making sure that at least there's some balance here and there. But as parents, I mean, this thing, love that we show to children, for a start, can we fault in any way? First time.
Okay, thank you very much. Parents are humans, and they are not perfect.
That's right.
They have their shortcomings, and they have their strength. Okay, but to be becoming a parent, I see becoming a parent very easy. Everybody can become a parent.
Wow.
But parenting, parenting is where the problem is. You see, and parenting the children, that brings in caring for a child or the children, and that must be done with wisdom. I keep saying on this set all the time, I keep saying that marriage is not for boys. Marriage is for men. It's not for girls. It is for women. So when a boy marries and the boy gives birth to a child, that boy cannot raise the child. That is where they are caught wanting, because parenting is work.
It's work.
It's work.
It's work.
Parenting is work. You see, and when you don't know how to handle it as a work, that is where the problems come. But that shouldn't take some facts. As parents gravitate towards children that are good. It is natural to gravitate towards them. You see, but maturity should come in there. Where the line should be drawn, we have to draw the line so that the children, some of the siblings don't show resentment. You see, when they show resentment, that is where a lot of problems will be coming in. You see, though the children may be having, their strength and their weaknesses, we shouldn't compare the children. And many times too, we shouldn't ignore their feelings. They may be picking one or two things up that mommy loves A more than B, but we need to come in there, explain to the children that it's not so that they will be able to understand what is going on. But it's natural. It is very natural. And at times too, what we say as parents to the children, it matters very, very, very much. There is this story I heard of a young guy that was imprisoned in America, and he was sentenced to electrocution. Okay, before he was electrocuted, he had an opportunity to meet two people: a pastor, and his father. Okay, the pastor went in and he said he doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. That cannot change anything. But the pastor insisted, so he spoke with him, and he said, "It's fine. I've been sentenced, I will die. But if you have introduced me to Jesus, fine." So he went into the cell. Then he was called later that there is another man looking for. He didn't expect it was his father. So when the father came in, he just stood up. He wanted to go into the cell. And the father said, "Son." The father started crying. And the son also told the father, "Daddy, I hope you are happy. I've ended up in cell, because when I was growing up, you kept saying you will end up in the cell. You will end up in the cell. I hope you are happy." The father broke down to tears, started crying. This is because love was not shown this. But other children, other siblings, they had love. But he was not exhibiting maybe, he was not exhibiting goodness, some strength that the father, that the daddy expected to see. So the daddy tagged him as maybe the black sheep of the family. So the words that were coming out of the father towards this boy was not the best. And many times what the parents say at times shapes the future of the children. So parents should understand that parenting is work. And so far as we go for counseling to marry, we have to go for counseling too. In parenting, I believe in that one. But many parents have not gone for any counseling for parenting, and that is where the problem is, because they cannot draw the line where it ought to be drawn.
But my face, let's look at it. He raised 2 points. Black sheeping a child, of the family, like you are the bad nuts among the rest, and also he made mention of words like you are this, you do this. in our local parlance, they say, you know, that sort of, sometimes we see this after the kids. Let's look at it. You know this child is troublesome. Is it the bad words you say or making the person feel worse that will change the situation?
I think words are powerful. Whatever we say comes to pass. It's just like we are praying. So if you are telling that child you are a bad boy, you will end up in prison. You will do that. It is a seed you are sowing. So why don't you say the good thing? That my son will change. I know you'll be good. I know you. So it is prayer.
Yes, sir.
Naturally, we think when we put the fear into that child, then that child will change. By the story Prophet said, it's like the father is, if you don't take time, you will end up here. All he's trying to do is to caution the boy not to get there. It isn't that he wanted, but words are powerful. So you have said it and it came to pass, and the boy has kept it. Words are very important, and as parents we should watch every word we say to our children, whether we are angry or we are happy, because they keep it in their mind. We think they are little, but as little as they are, they keep it there. Their mother or their father is the one who praise them the more. So if you are the same person who is not praising them, then their confidence is not there. You have children, some are very good, so you tend to like them more. But the one who is also difficult also has some strength and has a weakness. The weakness is that it is very strong-willed. How do you handle that child? You need to show that child every love. Look at the problem he has. As little as they are, they also have their problems. Sometimes we think children don't have problems. They have. So you need to be a friend to that child. And the child can tell you, this is my problem. I don't feel loved. I don't feel accepted. So I feel, okay, let me do things my own way. After all, you don't care about me. So let me do what pleases me. And you need to let that child know that we are a family. We are good together. And if there's a problem with one person, it affects all of us. So we want you to go this way. We know you like doing your things this way. But in life, you don't always do things the way you want it. We are bound by the Bible. We are bound by the laws of the land. So you don't go do everything. You can ask the child, can you go stealing? You know, when you steal, you go there. So it means that everything that we do is bound by rules and regulation. So the moment you are doing this, not that mommy or daddy hates you, but we want the good for you. You need to paint a good picture for that boy. You want to be the president of Ghana? Oh, okay. Everything you do from childhood to adulthood will be brought to you when you are there. So you are writing your own history. You are writing your story. What story do you want people to tell about you, the good or the bad? That is counseling. So as little as they are, you are counseling them. Then they will pick it up. And when you say, oh, for Kofi, you are strong-willed, and you are saying the words you are saying hurts that boy. And the boy or the girl will keep it for life. And where does he or she get love from? From his friends. When I go home, everything I do is bad. But when I'm with my friends, everything I do is good. They cheer me on. So that child will prefer friends to you. And these days, we are not even fortunate. Because we have technology. It's very good. So instead of him discussing things with you, he will go on WhatsApp and discuss with friends. Because as little as they are, we think, okay, we need to give them phones so that we can reach them. And they are very faster with the phone. So they'll go to sites, Google everything they want to do, and the phones and their friends become their counselor, their friends. So you lose them from childhood, and there's no love for you. That's when you grow, and they need to attend to you. They will not mind you. As parents, we have work to do.
The program is Weekend Review. Here we say we are bringing the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generations. We have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. We are discussing handling parental love for siblings, where you see some discrimination, where you see that father or mother is geared towards one particular child, and you feel rejected, and sometimes you feel you are not loved. But today, I'm sure some things will change after watching this program. Call somebody also to call somebody to tune in to watch this program, because what we are discussing has to do with you. I know there are some people, even when they grew, because of the kind of friction, like mommy was not close to me, daddy was not close to me. So even at some age, they have their own family. They don't even want to move. They can't have that affection for their parents anymore, and it's quite worrisome if you ask me. But let's look at it from day one. I'm sure it starts from somewhere. When you see your child have these differences in what you are expecting, it starts from somewhere. When you see the traits of a child becoming what you are not expecting, as a parent, what should you put in place to get the best?
A parent, every parent has a vision to run their home. What you want it to be, you have your own manifesto. And yes, really.
I like the manifesto.
You have a manifesto. And you know the kind of children you want to.
Even now, the political party are afraid to come out with their manifesto. So if parents are having their manifesto, I think it's in the right direction.
You must have it. You must have it, and what you expect from your children.
Yes.
So when they tilt to areas that you don't want them to, then that means the parents, you must set them up.
That's right.
But as I said earlier, it is the parenting.
It's the parenting.
That is the problem, you see, because that is the work. So when you are parenting the children, that is where you will know the child is going wayward. So then that means you need to call the child to attention, And many times, when you look at it critically, it may not even be a physical problem at times. At times it may not be a physical problem. It may be a spiritual problem. So you need to invite counselors, pastors into it to see what they can do.
Right.
But if it is not spiritual, but it has something to do with stubbornness, then you need to put some sense into. Yes, put some sense into the child. You see, but many times I realize that the children, what they do is they manipulate the parents.
I see.
They do. The children, they do a lot. They manipulate the children. They can pick up some characters just to manipulate you. They know I'm the only girl of the family.
Okay.
They know I'm the only boy of the family. And daddy's special daughter.
Okay.
So they can fake certain things just to manipulate daddy. By the time you realize the child had gone wayward, because you find it difficult to hate the child.
Abanoma.
You see, you find it difficult. You find it difficult. But you see, parenting will tell you, you have to close your eye on a whole lot of things. And spank the child. You have to discipline the child for the child to sit up. You see, but if I met a certain girl, lady, a very small girl, and she was wearing show your back.
I see.
And she was happy in it. And I called my wife's attention. I said, look at the girl. She's happy. What the parents are, preparing her for. She's happy. Now, in the future, going nude is easy.
It's very
easy because normal. You see, because you are a child, is a child, and
if
you
your back and not
that is it. So you grow. That is it.
Right.
So going nude becomes so easy for you. Why? It started somewhere, but because there was lack of parenting, that is why these problems are coming in. So parents must put their feet down. Make sure when the child is going wayward, forget about the beauty of the child. Some parents get even carried away by the beauty of their children. He's very handsome, very pretty, so they don't even want to touch him. They don't even want to say when the children are wrong. They find it difficult, and they praise the children, and it has gotten to a stage that the children they've seen that mommy cannot do without me. They don't do homework.
Special one.
That is it. And even they go to school, and the teacher gives them some lashes. They go home and they tell daddy, daddy's special one. Daddy goes to school and beats the teacher. It happens. Yes. It happened. I've heard of one. The daddy went to the school, took a cane, and lashed the teacher.
Why should he touch my special one?
That is it. You see, so right from you can see the child is spoiling. but the parents will not know it. By the time you realize, it is too late. You see, so the parents, put your feet down. Make sure they are a gift. They are a gift. The reason why they are a gift is many have married, and they are doing everything to have that gift, but they are not getting it. So then that means procreation is a gift. So if God has given that gift to you, then it's your responsibility to work. You see, but if you are a boy, if you are a girl, parenting becomes very difficult for you. You see, and it will be seen in the way you handle yourself. How can you ignore the child's school fees and use a little money to buy funeral cloth? That means you are exhibiting signs of boyship, boyhood, or girlhood. You see, that means you call yourself a parent, but you are not there yet. You see, you must know. You must know what parenting is. You must know. That is the most important thing. But many girls, many boys married. So parenting has become a problem to a lot of them.
May God have mercy.
God should have mercy upon us and help us.
My face, let's look at this. Talking about using the rod of correction. I mean, sometimes, some circumstances, like he said, some people get married, and sometimes you have to wait for some time. Children don't just come in right now and then. I mean, you have to go through a whole lot of, and when these children come, it's like they are everything, and sometimes the love, that emotional attachment to such children. If somebody even insults that child or spank that child in the neighborhood, your attitude towards, yes, and it becomes such a challenge. But let's look at it, because parenting, like he's saying, is not for boys and girls. I mean, it's for men and women. Yes. How do we handle the children in such a way that we as parents don't rather push them to an angle that tomorrow they will become a problem for us and for society?
I think now we have a challenge. We moved from an era where our parents were very strict.
That's right.
You dare not touch it. You dare not touch the radio. You dare not touch anything. And we realized that's hard training.
It was bad.
So technology, we have watched the Western world. We have seen that their form of training is different. So we tend to adopt it. In adopting it, we've also gone to the extreme. We no more correct our children when they go wayward. We allow the children. Now it's the children who parent us. I don't know if I should say so.
It is very
when
true.
You tell the child, do this, the child will tell you no. So you either listen to what the child is saying or what. So now but I think there should be a blend between the two.
Our culture should.
There should be a blend between the two. What our parents did to us, they were too strict. And there were good things they did that trained us and formed our personality. Why don't we pick those big good ones? Then add the Western one that we have adopted, the freedom of the child expressing herself and all that. And now we just want my child doesn't like that. So you allow the child. And now, who is parenting who? So the child grows, this is what I want, and gets it. So
at all costs.
At all costs. In his or her life, all he knows is that when I want something, I must get it. So it doesn't matter which way I try to get it, the child will get that.
Wow.
And it is translating into our society, which is very, very bad. As parents, do we allow these children to manipulate us, like Prof said? The child knows I'm the only daughter. So whatever I want, mommy will give me. Mommy doesn't give me, daddy will give me. It is good to give, but we should know that God has handled those children to us to handle, and we will give account of them. So if God gives you a gift, handle it for me, and you don't handle it well, God will come and ask us. Yes, we need to be strict, but when the child goes wayward or falters, we should explain to the child, this is what you should do. So in some homes there are rules there. At 6 a.m. we all wake up, we do this. So the child knows, then there are rules. So every child knows that if I falter, then mommy or daddy is going to deal with me. So if the rules are clear, then the child knows. And we shouldn't be correcting them when we are angry. Because you should let the child know, this you must do and this you shouldn't do. So the child knows that if I do this, mommy wouldn't like it. So if the child does that, you know the rule, you've broken the rule. But sometimes we do the thing, we are so angry, the child does the thing, and we end up beating that child so seriously. So it's like, what did I do wrong? Then it becomes a problem. So those are the issues. We should be able to blend it. So we should show them love, but we should also be strict. The Bible says, train the child the way he should go. And when he grows, he will not depart. But now we are not training them, we just feed them, give them whatever the child wants. Me, I want this, you give, I want this. So we are just, just feeding them, but the training aspect is out. So the child grows and is not a responsible adult. You put him at workplace, the person cannot function well. You are now old and you need them to support you. You need them to even send you to hospital, and they don't even have that love to take care of you. And it's a problem. We need to teach them how to love. We need to teach them how to be responsible. It is work we must do. It is daily. We must do it with joy.
We must do it with joy. This is the Weekend Review Show right on GTV Live with me, Johnny called Dollarich. Now, we have our WhatsApp lineup screen, as I said earlier, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected to us. Let's do this show together. Prof, let's look at it. If you have a child who will not go the way you want him to go, and we are talking about the rod of correction and all that, we have to spank. I mean, you have to direct the child. But in doing so, sometimes you become so hard, the child rather kind of like go so far from you. What do you...
You know,
yeah,
we must know our children.
Okay.
We must know our children. There are children that you can just give them an eye, a sign,
and they will understand.
And there are some you have to give them some dirty lashes, and they will also.
It will not kill them.
It will no. It will not kill them. But you see, a child that you have to just give a sign. If you lash that child will run away from home.
Wow.
That is it. You see, because you are the parent, and parenting deals with the process of caring for a child or children. Okay, so I am the father. I know how to tend that child. I give birth to you, not you giving birth to me. You see? So when the child is going wayward and I can't handle the child, then that means I'm not parenting that child properly. Because with parenting, that is where you begin to learn these temperament things that we are talking about.
That's right.
You can't handle a choleric like handling a melancholy.
That's right.
You see, or a phlegmatic. So you have to know them because you have gone through maybe counseling, so you know how to handle them. But when it is not so, that is where the problem comes. By the time you realize the child is nowhere to be found, because it's like the child doesn't. There are some children that don't want you to say nasty things to them.
Yeah,
there are some children like that. You can't say I'm your father, so I do what I want to do with you. No, that means you are not getting parenting right. At the end of the day, what is expected is the child growing up to be a responsible person.
Yeah.
So how you do it matters most. Because at the end of the day, the child must come right. You see, so if I have to spank you for you to think right, I'll do it. If I have to sit you down, talk to you, I have to do that. That at the end of the day, you do what I want you to do.
That's right.
And these children, they keep comparing. At times they keep comparing their families with other families. And when they go to Cecilia's home, the father is always there, sitting around them, doing homeworks with them. But in my case, or in their case, it is not so. So then the child is worried. The child is already worried. So the child comes home, that love towards a daddy towards the parents are not there. So when you tell them something, it will not go. Let me give you an example here. I taught in a school some years ago, and I handled class 5. I was handling class 5 in GSS. Okay, and class 5 class, when I got in, the children, anything I say, Mr. Osei, anything Mr. Osei, anything Mr. Osei. I did a little psychology. So, what Mr. Osei? In fact, I was not happy because it's like Mr. Osei said this, Mr. Osei said that, you know. So then I realized that Mr. Osei had some influence over the children in the class. But meanwhile, Mr. Osei has left the school to tech. He was going to further his education. And I'm the new teacher in the class. So you have to relate well with me for me to teach you. The children, I realized that the children, what I was teaching them, they kept saying, Mr. Osei, Mr. Osei. So I said, okay, who is Mr. Osei? Now I have to go and find out who Mr. Osei is. So I called one of the children. Who is Mr. Osei? Hey, Mr. Okai. Mr. Osei, he loved us. He's a good man. He did a whole lot of things for us. He asked for Mr. Osei. So from that day, I realized that the children will understand what I'm teaching them if I show them love.
That is it.
If I show them the love that Mr. Osei showed them, then they will understand me. So I started buying toffees for them. I sat with them. And Mr. Osei's name was there in the class.
Wow.
Easy. So being the father, you must adapt strategies. You know, just adapt the strategies. When you yell at a melancholy, you have destroyed the melancholy.
Finished.
Easy. Because they don't want that. But as for the sanguine, they don't care. They don't care, you know, because they are easygoing. So when you even insult them, you know, but melancholy will not. A choleric will strategize to come against you. That's how they are. Easy. So the parents must know where to draw the line. You know, keep searching the right method, because they are handling each. That is it. You see, even with God, I was looking at Romans 9:13, and God said, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Say, God, what are you trying to tell us? Do you discriminate? Do you show favoritism? But the verse 14 talks about, is there unrighteousness in God? He said, God forbid. That means intimacy and favoritism. God doesn't show favoritism, but God shows intimacy. You see, because God is not a man. You know, favoritism, that is where resentment will come in. And when resentment comes in, then the children are now out of league. Yes, now they won't sleep at home. And even if they are not sleeping at home, something is wrong. As a father, you must come down to that child, because they don't understand. You see, they don't understand the parents, because where you are now as a father, the children are not there, but you have been a child before.
So you have to come.
That is it, and you were even stubborn.
Sometimes even more.
That is it. You see, there was this small boy. He was last all the time in school, so he kept changing school. The father kept changing school for him. And the father said, you are a useless boy. You are this, you are that, you are that. He said, Daddy, why? Daddy, why? Then one day, Daddy gave him his keys. He said, I'm going to work. Can you tidy up my bedroom for me? So he went to the bedroom, was tidying up the place, opened the wardrobe. And you know, the father is good in piling up, you know, documents, keeping documents. So the boy went through that. He said, hey, Daddy's terminal report. Class 6, class 5, and Daddy too was last. So when Daddy came, do you know what he said? The boy was laughing in the house. Daddy said, what's funny? He said, Daddy, it runs through our blood. He said, Daddy, it runs through our blood. He said, what runs through our blood? He said, Daddy, but you were also lasting. The daddy was annoyed. He reached out to a cane. The guy left the house. You see, so many times we are shadows of our children.
Oh, I see.
Really. At times we are shadows of our children. So we must understand it, what the children is going through. We've been through that place. And now we are matured now. So we must come down to them. You know what they are going through. They don't know what they are going through. Some children, you teach them. It's difficult for them to pick it. Others too, so easy. There are some people, when they finish even school, that is where their knowledge begins. Yes, I know a lot of people. When we're in school, they were nothing. But now, they are very sensible. Their knowledge came when they were growing. Others too, we left school and they were nowhere to be found. All that they learned is gone. But these guys, now, those who were not good in school, they are running businesses, companies.
It's very true.
That is it, you see. So let's be patient with the children, so that we don't spoil any child.
Our faith, can we naturally, gear towards the good child as against the hard to crack one?
It is natural. Very natural. Very natural. So that is it. But what do you do?
That's right.
Every parent must learn on the temperament. If you don't know it, it's all over. Get the book, get the reading, let somebody help you. Because in parenting, you should know the temperament of all the children so that you don't commit those mistakes. Naturally, you'll be gearing towards that child, but you should know that they are all your children. So you shouldn't show love. I think the distinction is you openly showing love for all of them to know that you love this one more than me. And for loving one more than the other, it is natural, it will come. But how do you handle it? Do you show it in everything by praising just that one child? And sometimes, because you see yourself in that child, like you were saying earlier on, this child, maybe you are the elderly person, so this child will get up, arrange everything fine. You enter her room, everything is well arranged. You go to the other person's room, everything is scattered. So, what is this one? Opposite of me. Opposite of me. How do you handle that child? You don't hate that child. You don't get angry. Maybe he's also going to be a very good engineer. That's why he scattered everything. So that is his strength. So look at the strength and deal with him or her the way that child is. We must know them and deal with them individually. If not, the one you are saying is very stubborn. That is also a good trait. He might be a very good business person. He must be somebody who really is focused. When he wants something, he wants it done. So it is a strength. How do you build on it? It is work we have to do. In training them, I believe in dialogue. Talk to the child more than you caning or being very stiff. Let the child understand. As little as they are, they know it. They may be proving stubborn, but it is right there. It doesn't leave them. The things they are going through from age 4, 5, they will remember everything bit by bit. So let us talk to them. Explain to this child, oh, you are always doing this. You know, mommy doesn't like it. You know, daddy doesn't like it. Let the child understand. Right. If I'm beating you, it isn't that I hate you. I want you to do the right thing. Can you do it for me? Can you do it for daddy because you love them? Let the child also know that that child must also show you love as a parent. Because if I'm your parent, I need respect. I also need love from you.
That's right.
How do you show me, your parent, love? It is when I tell you do something and you do it for me, then I know my child also love me. Just as when you also want something from me, I will also give to you. So love is reciprocal. So you talk to that child. So growing up, the child also know, because I love mommy and mommy doesn't like this thing this way, he or she will also do it well. So it says us, we should talk more with the children. These days we are all busy. We leave the house very early and come back
That's
late.
it.
Now even if it's 5 minutes, let us make the best out of it. Talk to that child. Let us communicate. If we are not talking to our children, they have their friends there. They have the WhatsApp, they have the Google, they will go and they have friends. They say, I met a friend on Facebook. So everything that child wants, the child will talk to somebody else instead of you. So do you want the child to have other people as parents or you? Or the class teacher? Like Prof said, Mr. Ose becomes that child's hero. So everything is Mr. Ose. So you, the parents, you don't even matter. All that child wants is that, oh, it's a stamp. Let me go to school and meet my favorite teacher. Because the love I'm not getting at home, my favorite teacher will give to me. So that child will grow and will remember that teacher, and you were very wicked, and that's all that child knows for life. My father doesn't like me, my mother doesn't like me. My mother doesn't see any good thing I do, we only see the bad ones. So we should learn, when the child does something good, we should commend. If you are not commending and you only go correcting when they do the wrong thing, then you have a problem. So the two must go hand in hand. You must commend when the child is doing well, before you should be able to reprimand when it's going wrong. But if you don't, you are just reprimanding every time, then it means, you don't see any good thing. So the child's self-esteem begins to go down. Am I worthless? Nobody loves me. So I go look for love outside. So that's when they go to friends.
The program is Weekend Review right here on GTV Live. Thank you so much for being part of the program. We have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected to us. There's this question I want to ask, because you said something that children are shadow, or we are shadow of what we see about our children. And that is huge. Because if you ask me, in our local language, they say, Okoto onwanoma. Whatever your child is, it is you are just seeing. It's just a replica of who you are that you are seeing in your child. If it is not the man, then it is the woman. So sometimes some of the parents want to please smart. They say, oh, this one, it is from your background. But let's look at it. If you see a character trait, something about your child, and you know this is kind of a strange, you are battling with it, you can't easily see where to pick it from. Then I want to ask this question based on a culture we used to have those days. We had our uncles, our aunties, everybody bringing us up together. Your uncle can correct you, your grandmother is there, anybody in even the neighborhood society had a hand in shaping who you become. But these days, we have a 6-bedroom store-building apartment. It is me, my wife, my children, and my father or my mother or uncles will come there once in a year. If it is not Christmas, then it is Easter. We get to see them. It is just the two of us. But you can see a trait, something about the family, a character that has to do with somebody you know. How do you handle yourself if you see that, no, this is something which is a shadow that I am very much aware of? Prof, how do you go about it?
It's very difficult, because there are certain traits that cannot be changed easily. When it is, especially when it is running through the blood, that is where external help comes in. You see, and you need to invite other people into it. And as Christians, we normally invite pastors to help us. It may be a trait in that family. What of a family, like a family that everybody, I know of a family that when they put a glass in their hand, leave them for 2 minutes, the glass will fall from their hands. I know a family. You see them shaking. What can be done about this? It is prayer to break that thing. Because you can't find yourself on a mango tree and choose not to be a mango. You see? What the tree on which you are coming from, you bear the kind of fruit of that tree. You see? So it's up to you, the daddy, to deal with that thing for the child. Because the child doesn't know. You are seeing it. So you must start dealing with that situation. If you don't do that and you leave it like that, that thing will rise in the future, become like a monster to tear the child apart. Like even this our wonderful Christianity that God has given us. The fact that you become born again Christian doesn't mean everything is perfect.
That's right.
No.
You
work. Now, I keep telling people, when you become born again Christian, move now into your family. Begin to deal with things in your family. Because there are certain things you are born again now, but those things in the family, it's a gift for everybody. So then now you need to deal with that thing. If people die before 60, you must deal with that thing. Some fasting, some prayers to break that thing so that you can enjoy. My family, everybody reads from 40 years, even from 30 something years. You have to read, whether you like it or not, with a lens. I don't read with a lens. I thank God for my sight. Because I saw that thing some years ago and I asked question, why is it that mommy is reading with lens? Daddy too. You see, so I realized that it is something there. So I need to deal with it. So I started praying. Say, God, give me good sight. Give me good sight. I started dealing with that thing. And it hold was broken. One thing that we have to know is when you break it, you are broken it for your generation and the generations unborn.
That's right.
You see, so when you close your eyes on it, then that means it has come to stay.
So generations will suffer it.
He said, since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violent, and the violent take it by force. Jesus understood this scripture more than John the Baptist. Yes, because John the Baptist was locked up in the prison and was asking silly questions. Instead of him to pray, where was his disciples? They were going on errands. He said we should come and ask you whether you are the Messiah. When you were baptizing me, what did you see? When you were baptizing me, what did you see? You said God has opened your eyes and you saw the dove, the Holy Spirit in the form of a dove coming on me. And you said, and the voice said, this is my beloved son with whom I'm well pleased. So then now, if you, John the Baptist, you are locked up in the prison and you send your voice on errands to come and ask me that thing, do you know what is going to happen to you? Your head is off. And that was what he was saying in the prison. And Herodias, the daughter, danced. He said, what do you want? He said, I want the head of John the Baptist. And they came. Silly question. Now, Peter, Acts chapter 12, he was also arrested. But the disciples were not asking silly questions. They were not sending people on errands. But the Bible said the church prayed.
That's right.
Since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence. So then that means you can only take it by violence. So those things I'm seeing in my child, if I'm gentle, I can't take it too.
That's right.
I cannot take it because it had become a family inheritance.
And if you leave it there,
you leave it there, your child is spoiled forever.
And children after your child.
That is it. So you must end it. I was doing, I did a little research on Bruce Lee. And I realized that Bruce Lee died like his father. He also died like the grandfather. Okay. You know, they brought the martial arts and I learned there was a spirit attached to it. Look at Bruce Lee's son. He was less than 30 years. He was also shot. Like the Gandhi family, like the Kennedy family. Assassination is running in the blood. Now, if I am a child in that family, it is my responsibility. It is now my responsibility to deal with that thing. So now I have to organize as the father. I have to organize some fasting and prayer for my child. If it doesn't work, I have to bring other people in. Because the anointing we have in levels. Maybe my level is too low. So I have to invite other men of God to help my child to get rid of that thing.
Right.
If not, then you have left your child to wallow in that situation. And it will become a problem to all of us in the future. She's taken like a kleptomanian. She's everything she picks. Everything she picks. Everything she picks. And we defend our child. Don't you think in the future she's going to disgrace all of us?
That's right.
So we need to work on. You know, kleptomanians are not thieves. So.
No.
They are not thieves. They are not thieves. They fancy stealing.
They fancy.
They don't need it.
They don't need them.
They are not thieves. But they always take it. At times they pick it and they just throw it away. But we call them it is still stealing. So you know what is happening to your child. You can read a lot of meanings into it. So just deal with it. You can sit your child down, talk to him. If it is not working, we should employ other strategies to help the child.
If you're watching the program, I know there are a lot going on in your home, in your family. On this, I mean, platform, I want to invite you specially to Redeeming the Family Glory, happening live tomorrow at 8 a.m. at Miracle Temple Assemblies of God. We hold this prayer program for families. Redeeming the family glory. Maybe there's so much going on there. You are struggling with it. Sometimes you talk. You don't know how to even handle it. You are short of words. You don't know. You are so tired. You want to give in. Don't give in. I know a God who is able to change situation in a moment, in a flash of time. And just join us even as we pray for the family, redeeming the family glory. Miracle Temple Assemblies of God, 8 a.m. sharp. It's just close to the old Malcolm building that collapsed at Achimota. Just ask Miracle Temple, just right there. Come join us. Let's pray tomorrow. Now, let's do this. My feet, we are almost run out of time. In a quick, some families are having this challenge. Some children would just leave home because they are not loved. Parents are not there for them. And you could see even some children pick argument. Some siblings are against each other in one family simply because mother or father is geared towards one person. Let's look at how best can we, unify this, work around it to live in a healthy family. And a quick advice, yes, please.
Okay, I want to say parents should know how to show love to all the children. They are all your children. Let the love be equal. And love is shown in what we give, what we see, how we relate to them, touch them, hug them, let them know you love them. Don't show more love to this one. Don't praise one above the other. Let everybody know that these are the rules in the house. If you break it, this is it. But the point that this one always break the rules does not mean that he's a very bad person. Show love to them. Let them know they are one. They as family, they are one. So that growing up, they will grow together. If not, you would have trained them, and when they are adults, though they are siblings, they will not talk to each other. You will see them sitting down chatting or even eating together, or even bringing both families together. They won't even visit each other. And it all boils down from how you train them when they were growing. We have work to do. It is difficult, but let us learn. As a parent, if you know you have a shortfall, get other friends, get book, get counseling. Let people help you so that you can do it and do it well. Because the moment you falter, know that you are going to affect nations. Because if your children are not agreed together, they are fighting. It continues. Look at the families that will be fighting. It is very bad. We need love. So let us show love to the children. And let the children know that they also must show us love as parents.
I see. Prof, in a quick, let's see this. If you're a child and you realize your parents are not so attached to you, they have their speciality. You could see you are, I won't use the word cast away, but you find yourself distanced, from everything that has to do with the family. Maybe there's something you can also do to get yourself back on track. So to the children out there, what will you tell?
The children out there, what I would like to tell them is the cardinal rule for parenting is that parents should love their children equally. I don't think parents will love one and leave the others. So when the children are going through that thing, it's not because daddy doesn't love you. It may be a whole lot of reasons. Maybe daddy pressure from work, a whole lot of things. But I will advise the children, when they begin to see the sense daddy is far away from them, they must get closer to daddy and just find out what daddy.
Sometimes even you have to ask good questions.
Good, that is it. Just get to the parents to find out why of late they are not coming into their bedroom. My daddy that brought us up, may he rest in peace. When he fights with us, he normally fights with us, all of us, with words. But he's a jovial kind of person. After he comes to your bedroom and tells you, Charlie, come to the hall, let's talk. Then you see the child is, we are hurt. Then you pull your leg. He said, quick, stand up. We were just joking. That's right. You see, he had a way of, he had a way. So we found it even difficult to keep things, keep things in us against this man. He was so jovial too. All about some parents may not be that. But the children, when you sense that thing, get closer to daddy. Get closer to me. Find out. Children like asking questions. They like asking questions. But if you don't ask them, daddy may not even know. Daddy may not even know. So when you keep it to yourself, what is happening? The devil begins to feed you. The devil begins to feed you. Daddy doesn't love you. That's right. Daddy doesn't love you. So then that means you need to go out of the house. And going out of the house, we all know the implications that it brings. So I will advise the children, get closer to daddy. Right. Daddy loves everybody. Mommy also loves everybody. Despite our weaknesses and strength, daddy gave birth to us. Daddy loves all of us.
That's right. Indeed, daddy, mommy loves all of us. And on this point, we want to say a big thank you for being part of the show. Thank you so much. And I want to say a big thank you to Prophet Tete Okai for passing through. Prof, thank you.
God bless you.
And Mama Vid, as for you, me and you, thank you so much for being part of the program. And viewers, we are so grateful you have spent all this time with us. May God stretch forth his hand. Bringing you miracle and blessings that you need. And tomorrow, please, this is an invitation from me, please. I sense God wants to do something for some family out there. Just join us to pray for the family, redeeming the family glory. Maybe one of these days I have to share some testimonies with you, and you will get to know what is happening on the ground. People's destinies are being changed. Families are getting healed. Things are happening. There was this woman who called me and she watched our program, Redeeming the Family Glory. They've never, as a family, they're almost all the time on the move. But just for once or twice, they managed to hold hands and to pray together as a family. The husband had this sickness, and to the glory of God, the man is completely healed because, what medicine couldn't do, prayer has been able to do it. And I speak that miracle for you in your home. Join us as we pray tomorrow. Miracle Temple Assemblies of God, 8 a.m. sharp at Achimota, Old Melcombe Building, the one that collapsed. Just join us there. You can call me on any of the numbers on screen, and I get to be your guest, even as I invite you to the program. We'll see you same time next week. My name is Johnny Cole Dollarich. God bless you.
Tell me, what can I do?
This is the moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in Redeeming the Family Glory.
Under an atmosphere of worship and prayer, GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and restore the family glory. The venue is
Miracle Temple Assemblies of God at Chimota near the collapsed Melcombe building with Reverend Jonas Tete. The date is Sunday, 7th August 2016. Time 8 a.m. sharp. The theme, Keep the Family Alive. Esther chapter 4 verse 16.
Precious one. Evangelist John Lee Cole Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
Now I decree and I declare that your family will stand, your marriage will stand, your business will stand, your relationship will stand. You will never fail in the name of Jesus.
I can't make it on my own.
I'm da so to me bonimo. Adishi mo da bi e hwe agwama.